Hey, what's going on? Time for another mealworm update. First, I wanted to talk a little bit about them. I use them to feed my leopard gecko, and when I had a Cuban tree frog, I used to give him a few. There's 4 stages of their life forms. There's egg, mealworm, which is a darkling beetle, the actual mealworm, and then pupa. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Pupae, some people say. Pupa. But anyways, there's a darkling beetle. And here's the pupaes. And these guys are just little wiggly things. These are going to turn into beetles soon. And here's the actual worms. I don't know how clear that is. I'm trying to make it focus. So those are the worms. These are the pupaes. Little wiggly things. And then where'd the beetle go? There's the beetle. Running around. There's a few beetles in here. They're all buried in the poop. But yeah, the eggs, you'll never see the eggs because they're like microscopic. But it takes a few months, I think, for the worms to grow from being a real small egg. Like if you see this skin here, there's my finger. That's a little skin from one of the worms. And that they get way smaller than that. Like you can't even see them for a few months. And then they grow into these worms here. So yeah, that's just a little bit about them. To raise them, you just put them in a Tupperware container. This ain't very big. It's probably, if you get a large margarine tin, sometimes, you know, it's not very big. I think it was 9 by 13 or something. You just put mealworms in there, add some oats. Can be any kind of oats, quick oats, rolled oats. Here in Canada they come in bags. I don't know how you guys get them there. I think boxes or something maybe. But it's just regular oatmeal. And yeah, you just pour it in, put the worms in it. They'll do their thing. They'll turn into pupaes. Because when you buy them from the store, they're usually worms. Then they'll turn into these little wiggly aliens. And then they'll turn into beetles. Where'd he go? Beetles. And then he'll run around and mate with other beetles, lay some eggs in the oats. And I keep all the life forms together in this one tub, and they just do their thing, and everything's good. A lot of people separate, which I don't understand why, because it's more work. Like, I clean this out probably once a year. And I just throw carrots in now and then for them to get their water intake, and the beetles eat it, and sometimes the worms nibble on it too to get their water intake, and they just do their thing and live in my little area. I have a closet that has my cat litter box in it, and it's just kind of storage. But yeah, I just keep them in there, room temperature. Doesn't have to have heat or whatever. And some people ask me if you put them in the fridge. Well, usually when you buy the worms, the pet store keeps them in the fridge because it makes them kind of dormant, and they don't like move around too much because it really slows them down, so they don't change into pupaes right away, so you have worms longer. That's the only reason that why you would put them in the fridge, is if you wanted to keep them worms longer. But if you're breeding them, you don't want to keep them in the fridge because you want them to do their thing and to grow and to change into pupa, change into beetles and mate and stuff, and they wouldn't do that in the fridge. So yeah, room temperature. Throw a carrot in there now and then for them to eat, and you got a colony of mealworms in no time. Like, it doesn't take long, like a few months you should have good colony started. I don't know exactly how long it takes because You know, I've had this colony probably 15 years or more. I started doing this when I got my leopard gecko, and I just had him around to give as a snack, and she loves them. And I've only bought ever 100 mealworms, and this is going on and on. You know, I clean it out once a year. I take all the dead beetles and stuff out, and then see, right now is a little too early to clean them out, but I'm just cleaning out some of the dead bodies because there's still a lot of like baby mealworms hidden in the poop and stuff. Like, there's no dirt in here. This is actually poop, this brown stuff. It's all poop and feces, and it's kind of disgusting, but it's just like a fine powder. And yeah, there's like all kinds of squiggly little worms, all different sizes. I don't know if I can find a real small one, but there's some medium ones, and you know, there's all different sizes in there. And don't always take, when you're harvesting, don't always take the biggest ones you can find, because I think those are the females. So you need lots of those ones left over. Like, take a few, but like the real juicy fat ones that you're like, oh yeah, that one's really big, I think these are females, because for a while there I was always just feeding the big huge ones, and I noticed my colony start to go down a little bit. Other than that, just let them do their thing. Throw in some oats now and then if it gets low, and throw carrot in there, and they pretty much raise themselves, really. Sorry for that harsh light in my face for so long. I didn't realize it was that bad. After I take the dead bodies out and pretty much all the oats are gone, and there's lots of mealworms, like big worms, and there's not too many small ones, you wait till that time of year to strain all the poop, and you know, you can throw the poop out. I keep it around in another bin just to make sure I got all the worms, so I'll throw like a carrot in there, and I'll wait a couple months just to see if worms show up. But yeah, strain it with a real fine like mesh strainer, and that'll give you all your worms in one bunch, and then you can just throw the poop out. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Check out my other mealworm videos, and if you want, you can watch my vlogs. They're kind of funny sometimes. So yeah, happy mealworming and good luck. Check you later, YouTube.
Beep boop boop.